What up, G-Life? It's your boy, MC Shadow, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. That is how you help my channel get into the algorithm. Highly appreciate if you go ahead and do that. Don't forget to check out my second channel, Menace Society, M.O.D, where we talk about stuff outside of the streets. Now, what I wanted to talk about was, I was asked a question, right? I was going through my emails. I was asked a question by one of my subscribers. I'm going to answer this question because I like the way this subscriber, asked the question, right? He came respectfully, which is very hard to find nowadays, right? Nowadays people feel like, they got to be disrespectful because, I don't know, they're trying to prove a point to themselves or for whatever reason. Maybe they feel like that's how people communicate nowadays, right? One thing I have said a while back ago, right, is that when people talk about, who cares about putting a positive message out there? Just let people, be whatever. If they do, they do. They don't, they don't. But the thing is, the reason why there's so much bad behaviors in the world is that all the people that have the good lessons, the good morals, the good klecha, as you could say, always keep their mouths shut, right? Are always quiet. They don't throw their opinions out there. They remain silent, right? While you have all the con artists, all the fakes, all the liars, manipulators, and all that, are the ones that are out there always voicing their opinions and giving it lessons and advice, right? And now you can see why the world is the way it is, right? Because you let all the bad people speak and all the, positive people always want to remain quiet. And, if the only thing that's out there is nothing but negativity, of course people are going to be, influenced, and feel like this is the way the world is, right? So I like the way he asked the question, right? He said, that he's new to my channel and, he's not looking to disrespect, but, he was curious, right? He said he's seen a few of my videos and he said that, that on my channel, I don't, talk about politics on here, right? I don't go into, none of that stuff, right? But I cover the street, so isn't that the same as politicking? And, and he said, I don't mean to disrespect, I just, I'm trying to see the difference, right? And, it's a very good question, right? And I could see why people, could misinterpret. And you know what? I like the way you asked because there's people that always come on here and they assume like they know, right? So they start talking smack and assuming, right? So it's always funny to me. Politicking is when you talk about ongoing stuff that organizations or groups have, right? If you're talking about ongoing cases, ongoing, or open cases, right? You're talking about individuals, open cases, and the activity that neighborhoods do, right? The illegal activity that these barrios are doing, right? Anything that could get somebody, busted is politicking, right? Is when you're talking about stuff that you shouldn't be talking about, right? You're putting stuff out there about stuff that just happened, or maybe a shooting that just took place. You're giving intel and all of that. I never talk about, as a matter of fact, on my channel, I never talk about cases in general, bro. I never go into specific cases on nobody, on nothing at all, like specifically, this neighborhood is known for a murder that happened in 1995, roughly around this area, and where this person and this person was arrested. And I, as a reason, I don't do that kind of stuff, bro. Homies, I'm not even allowed to do that kind of stuff. And why would you want to put that stuff out there, right? You could hinder somebody's case like that, right? Because you could say, well, who cares? He's guilty anyways. Like, well, you don't know that, bro. Like, they could potentially be innocent. You know what I mean? That's for the jury, prosecutor, the defense, and all that to handle when it's time to handle and what the results is, right? It's not for you to, place judgment already just because of your biased opinion. You know what I mean? So I never go into, cases and, people say, well, it's public record. Oh, yeah, I know it's public record, right? But you're still taking the risk of hindering somebody's case, right? And no one's saying that you can't throw it out there. You're entitled to throw it out there. Everyone has the right to, make whatever content that they want, right? But understand in the street world, there is consequences to that, and people are going to get offended and, they might take action, bro. And you can't be mad when that happens because you are aware that those are the risks potentially that could happen. You know what I'm saying? Now you could say it shouldn't be that way, and why does it gotta be? I understand that perfectly, bro. Trust me. Doesn't change the facts that that's just how it is. You could be mad about it, but I mean, it doesn't change how it runs and why it's run like that. I mean, you know what I mean? Now, people could talk about like in this perfect world, right? But truth of it is that the world is not perfect. If the world was to be perfect, there would be no crime. If there would be no crime, then a lot of you officers are going to lose your jobs. A lot of you bail bonds, lawyers, graffiti remover, mortuary, people that design coffins or make coffins or manufacture weapons. A lot of people are going to be out of a job. Crime is a mid. Crime is a mil. Crime is a multi-billion-dollar industry, bro. Think about how many jobs crime creates. You think these law enforcement really want to lose their jobs? You think law enforcement really wants their hours cut? Are you really telling me that law enforcement wants their hours cut and wants to lose their jobs? Or these lawyers or judges or bail bonds or any of these people? I highly doubt that they want to take a pay cut or lose hours or even get fired or lose their jobs, right? Because if there's less crime, guess what? You guys are going to be out of a job. That's just, I mean, bro, that's how the world runs, bro. Those are just the facts. If there's less crime, if the crime rate goes down, guess what? These precincts, they start having to make cuts. And a lot of you guys are going to be and a lot of police officers are going to be let go. Because you can't afford to keep them around, or why don't have them around. So I doubt these individuals want to lose their jobs. Think about that. It's not a conspiracy. Just think about it. Right? But anywho, I'm sidetracking. So politicking is when you're talking about anything that is ongoing or how individuals manufacture or how they maybe, sell drugs or create drugs, how they move them around, how, things get sent to where and who and why, the who, the where, and the what, like Eminem said, right? That's politicking, right? Even let's say if you're telling your prison story, right? This is why they say, not to talk about incarceration. If you're telling your prison story, right, and you're talking about how you moved weight around or where you stash stuff or how you do things, remember, everything that happens in prison is ongoing, bro. It's open. It's an open case because these individuals are in a place where, no crime is allowed, right? So everything is an open case. So now if you're revealing all these, things and now these, CEOs, they could now go and, look or now are aware, you're going to potentially fuck it up for a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to be mad, bro. That's why I just don't talk about incarceration, and I just don't talk about cases or ongoing shit or even cases in general, right? Like when I make videos, right, from the info that homies give me, history, location, that's it. What people already know, right? Because these neighborhoods tag it up, post up, right? And let everybody know this is our neighborhood. They're literally themselves. If you drive to these neighborhoods, they themselves will tell you this is ours in Wutiwa. It's not a secret, right? But that's why people always tell me, hey, you should talk about how when this vital did this or when that vital did that. That's the reason I appreciate, people's, intel or input, right? But that's the reason I just don't go into, for those who were wondering why I don't go into and speak on none of that. Because it's not in my place to speak on that, right? And that's politicking, and I just don't politic on here. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of things that, people always throw out there that I should, make videos about. I just don't do it, not because I don't care for your opinion or care for your idea, right? It's just that there's certain things I just won't touch on because, well, one, because we're not allowed to, but second of all, just because in my morals, I don't see it right for me to, talk about it. And there's no reason why for me to bring up those cases, right? Because, talking about what a neighborhood did or what it's doing, it's not going to help, overall the situation, right? Now, you being aware of your surrounding and the areas you live in, how bad they are, and if maybe gangs are located around your area is good to know. If you should be letting your kid be running around in the streets, you should worry about where your kid's playing out. Or when they leave, to hang out somewhere, just make sure everything's cool. Because a lot of people think that these areas are nice, but, looks could deceive, bro. Just because an area looks nice doesn't mean that it is nice. A lot of people weren't even aware that their neighborhood was the way that it was. You get what I'm saying? Compared to, I'm talking about this, and now people might see that as, yeah, that's right, that neighborhood's really doing that. And now that's glorifying, bro. And that's just the reason why I don't go. Or if I were to come on here and talk about my war stories and stuff like that, for what? What am I going to get out of that? Just for people to be like, damn, this was really down, homie. Damn, this fool was really out there putting in. And why do I want people to see me in that light for? I don't. You know, I don't want people to see me as like, oh yeah, this was gangster. This was really doing stuff out there. I already know what I have done and did, and what it is. So to look to persuade the audience, I mean, I don't see the reason for it. I guess to be seen as gangster or down, but how am I gonna get out of that? Or why should I care for that? you know, I don't see the purpose. Bro. I mean, I could see those maybe who are maybe insecure or maybe um, are the opposite of that, right? So now they want to create this illusion and this fantasy. So they like that because it feeds into their illusion and their ego, right? It makes them feel better about their overall situation because they don't really like how they are, what their life was or it became, whatever, right? So this is just a way for them to lie to themselves, right? If the audience is now playing along with their lie, their illusion, they don't have to face reality because they don't like reality. They don't like who they really are, you know. But I'm comfortable in my skin. I know who I am. But overall, yeah, but that's politicking. It's when you're talking about ongoing stuff, ongoing organizations and what they're doing and their methods and all of that. That's politicking, which is something I recommend no one do. But at the same time, everyone's a grown-ass man and an adult, and they're going to do and, whatever they're going to want to do. And this is America. They could talk about whatever they want, bro. I mean, there is consequences and risks, but they're aware of them, So I guess, anything for the bag, right? Yeah, but overall, that's what politicking is, and that's just not what my channel is about. So I know there's people always say, like, hey, I should mention this and that. But that's just why I don't talk about stuff like that, right? I talk about, the overall emotional, the psychological, and the uprising of the street life, not crimes and, investigations. And that's just not what this is. There's a big difference. This could actually get people locked up and it's seen as you shouldn't do. This is talking about experiences, lessons, emotions. You know what I mean? It's two different things. But there's people that don't know their laws, right? Don't know how their California laws work or how the criminal system works, right? So they blend it all together. They think it's all the same shit, right? Like, you never wonder why, they should, throwing stuff out there, burning people. You never wonder why people weren't getting arrested for Teen Angel magazines or for Gangland or all this stuff, right? I mean, there's a difference between the talks, right? While somebody makes a video and then gets people locked up, right? Like if people they can't separate the difference. Like, wait, why don't these people get arrested? These people, because they don't know their laws, bro. You gotta know your law, know what you can say, what you can't say, what you could throw out there, what you can't throw out there. And overall, just leave the prison and the criminal investigations and all that to law enforcement and the actual criminals. I'm saying shadow, yeah.